Meet the woman that made the beautiful buck stitch headstall, the double layer, twisted fringe chaps, and many other things. Her cowgirl strength is here today with a leather worker with the company New Creation. Her name is Sissy Bass. And Sissy, can you give us a little information about how long you've been doing this? What got you started into leatherworking?
Well, I want to go way back when I was a little bitty kid. One of my friends said they had a picture of me, and her father had a leather shop, and I'm sitting on the floor hammering leather.
Oh,
And I think back that's probably was always God was giving me that gift to do leather. But as far as in a business aspect, uh, I've probably been doing it about 20 to 25 years. Yes.
that's a little while. Apparently you like it.
I like it. I like the idea that I can come in here and create something and just wait for God's Spirit to give me the inspiration as to how it's going to unfold, or
The design?
the design and the creation of it. And,
Wow.
and so it's been very rewarding to me to be able to be at home and
Sure.
do the leather work.
So, how did you end up starting your business? You said you've been doing it about 25 years?
Well, I worked for a business for 10 years, running their leather. It was a retail and a leather shop, and I was inspired by God to go out on my own and come home and do my own shop here, and my husband really wasn't on board right away. He's like, "Oh, how are you going to do that? You know, you're so comfortable where you're at." But anyway, it all
It's a
happened.
big step.
It's a big step, and it did happen. And I've got my own little shop here, and I don't do as much as I used to do, but because I'm going to be 70 years old this year.
Wow.
So, but I do enjoy the leather work a lot.
Okay. And so, what type of leather work do you do for, say, cowgirls? What do they ask for?
For the cowgirls, well, I do a lot for my granddaughters.
Okay.
They are barrel racers. They do serious competition, and they'll come up. All right, Grammy, I need you to do a breast collar. I need you to do a headstall for me.
Okay.
And we'll create it, and they get to the rodeo, and the kids will say, "Well, where'd you get that made?" You know.
Oh.
And so it's a one of a kind thing for them.
Okay.
This year, my oldest granddaughter had me make her a belt for Christmas, and she wanted it to be black and natural with flowers. Well, if you're using black and it's a dye, it's going to bleed into the natural. So it was quite a project.
She puts you to work.
She put me to the challenge. She did.
So they come up with the design, and
They
you
do.
have
They
to
do.
figure it out.
Yes, and
That's fun.
yes, and I've made chaps for people that have done mounted shooting. I've done custom
Oh.
chaps for a lot of cutting people.
Okay.
You know, whatever they need. That it might take me a little while because right now I'm working on a project for a wedding.
Really?
And the wedding is, I think, in June, and I'm creating 16 belts for the wedding.
Oh. For the groomsmen?
The groomsmen, I don't know. I think it's the groomsmen, and for the ushers, I don't know, but
So that's maybe going to be the gift or something?
it is the gift.
Oh,
Yes,
that's a
yes,
lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you like to do the most in leatherworking?
Well, I have to stop and think about that, but I think it would be somebody brings a saddle in here, and I mean it is like it looks bad, and they'll bring it in and they'll say, "Sissy, I don't know if you can do anything with this saddle, but I need it cleaned and oiled. Just go through the whole thing and whatever it needs. And if you can't fix it, I understand." So I'll kind of look at the leather, and I can tell if the leather is pliable enough that we can do something with it. And so anyway, they come back to pick it up and they don't even recognize their own saddle. And to me, that's so rewarding because, you know, it fulfills me to do something
Absolutely,
like that for them.
to see your finished project
Yes.
and have it be so appreciated.
Yes, yes.
So have you run into very many female leather workers in 25 years?
Not very many.
No?
It's really a man's field, you know. Of course, I'm this way. I guess I've always been a tomboy, and I've always liked to do the men part of the work.
Okay.
In the tomboy field, and so it was a challenge. And I've had some people that have passed on that, you know, we've had conversations as far as like they were leather people and they appreciated my work, so it made me feel good.
Oh, that's great to be complimented by somebody in your field.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So show us this this leather set that you just made here.
Okay, so this headstall here, what she wanted was a real dark leather, and you can tell it's just real soft and pliable. And this buck stitching, actually I took a screwdriver and I made my own. It's one little click at a time. So I have to set the in between, and I have to bring it all through. Each piece is hand done. So basically,
that's a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And
it's braided all the way through.
It's braided all the way through. Yes, ma'am, it is.
And the silver finishings are beautiful.
Yes, it is. And I do this little thing here. See how that little hand stitch there? That's just a little protective with that buckle. You know, if that buckle breaks or wants to come loose, it just kind of protects it. So there's little things that I do that people don't understand, you know, or I don't know.
Or thought of, maybe.
Thought of, yes. And then she wanted these reins made, and she wanted them thin, but she wanted them to feel good in her hands. So I took some leather and glued it together. You can't tell that's two pieces of leather glued together, but that's two pieces of leather glued together. Yes, and created that. And
so that's why it would be more pliable?
Yes, it's pliable, and you can just feel it in your hands. It feels really good and soft, doesn't it?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's nice.
And then these are what they call the leather end pieces. So if a horse sits back and they break this, more than likely they're not going to break the main body.
Okay.
Yeah. They call it a slobber strap. So anyway, yeah.
So that's like a double safety. You've got the loop.
Yeah, this goes through the bit on the ring, and then so if for some reason they would set back, they'd tie the horse up with this. This is more likely going to break through, and it'll leave this all intact.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't ruin the whole ring.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sissy, you said you're making 16 belts. Can you give us an idea what goes into making a belt?
Yes, I can. So, for example, this belt here is what they call a rough out. Okay?
That's the type of material?
Type of material. And this is the smooth side.
Okay.
But what you probably can't see is this is also two pieces of leather.
Okay.
So this belt is actually finished. It doesn't have the holes yet for them to buckle it in like that.
Okay.
But I'm waiting on the customer to come so I can custom make the hole to fit them.
All right.
So this product here is finished. It has the initials on it. I edge it so it seals it. This one is close to being finished, but it's not.
So all this stitching, is that done on a sewing machine?
Oh yes, I have a machine. I have a machine that I can do the tension lower to where you want the stitches to be tight, and you can see on both sides those stitches are tight. That's the back side. There's the front side.
Nice.
And you want it to be nice and tight, and you want it to be grooved into the leather, so when it's flush, the stitches are not sticking up.
I see.
This belt is finished. It's had one coat of oil on it. as you can see how light this one is.
Right.
This one doesn't have a coat of oil. This still has a rough edge because it has the backing on it, and I haven't edged it like this. If you do the comparison, you can see the difference in them.
Okay, so this one, okay, it's a little uneven, so you have to
I have to edge it.
smooth that
I
out.
have to smooth.
Okay.
I have a machine that sands this down, and then I have a tool that will bevel it and get it exactly looking like this when it's the end product.
Wow.
And you can feel how smooth it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And when you're creating a belt, you need a thinner side. Like, for example, when this turns over, at one point both these leathers were one thickness.
Okay.
So when I created it, I have to thin this side down so it will bend nice. It will go and it'll have a nice bend.
So you make the leather even a little bit thinner on
Yes,
that end?
I have another tool that it's all feel of hands.
Wow. So this is, how did you learn this? This was all self-taught? I mean, is there a leather school?
I've never went to leather school. I just have to give the glory to God, because God, His Spirit directs me in a lot of things. I would think, oh, I'm making a mistake, and no, do it this way. Okay, all right, I got it. And it would always turn out. I mean, I'm just telling you, we of ourselves have no gifts, but through God, He gives us
gifts
and talents. Yes.
Awesome.
A person that I've seen people that pick up instruments that play that have no lessons. Well, my gift is my hands doing the leather work.
I love that. I love that. So tell us what you're going to do next with this belt.
Okay, so this one here is pretty much finished. The customer comes and we're going to put the holes. This one here, as you can see,
Okay.
This is his brand. So I put like an antique kind of color, and this morning I put a sealer on the letters so it'll kind of seal that color.
Okay.
And the next step today, after this sets for a while, I warmed olive oil, and I put olive oil all on the belt, and you'd think, oh my goodness, it's going to get so dark, but it doesn't. It looks like that when it sets.
So this end, this is rough out, and then this gets smooth here. How
Yes.
does that change?
That's through.
That's the secret.
Mhm.
Okay.
I like to have it smooth on the end, because see how it stands out?
Right. It does make it more, the letters more obvious.
Exactly. Yes. 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 And
Okay.
and if you just left it all rough and you tried to put initials or brands on the end, it wouldn't be as pretty and pronounced with the smooth leather.
Okay. So that's your special technique.
Yes.
Okay. Don't tell us your secrets.
Oh,
Are any of your grandkids interested in the leather work?
they are. I mean, they come and they help me in the shop sometimes.
Okay.
I always tell them, well, if Grandma can't do this anymore, I guess this equipment will be all yours. And I think
Somebody's going to pick it up.
I guarantee you, I believe one of them or two
They
of them.
should. They
Yes.
should. This is a gold mine right here. This is amazing.
It's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I love for them to come and help me. You know,
Sure.
It's great.
It's great to spend time and to pass on your information.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sissy, in my page, I want to highlight women stepping out into something that maybe they were told isn't for women, isn't the norm. What kind of information would you give somebody to step out into trying something new, starting a business?
I would just say that women can do a man's job. Maybe not like they would like it done, but seek your heart, and don't ever, let people tell you that you can't do something, because you can. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you cannot help feed cows, do leather work, whatever it is that a man thinks is their position. You can be that helpmate, or you can do it on your own.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So I'm just sanding that down a little bit. because I'm wanting that to be flush. And you can feel and see how it flushes it.
Oh yeah,
in comparison, yes.
Yeah.
So if I do the whole belt in that, and then I can also show you. Okay, let me show you something else. Let me do that now. Just say, for example, I had that whole thing done. Then you would go over here, and I have what they call an edger, this little edging tool. And so wherever we have flushed it, what we're going to do is we're going to take that leather off right there. And it bevels it. It'll bevel it on that side, and it's going to bevel it on that side. And you're starting to get that really rounded, smooth, finished edge. Then when you get that done, which this is not ready yet, I'll do this several times, I put wax on there.
Okay.
So I put this wax, these little pieces of wax, I take some wax and I wax that, okay? Let's just wax that real quick. Then let's take it back over to the machine and watch what happens.
Okay, so you're on the other side. This doesn't...
And this is a cloth. It's Cordura is what it is. It's a Cordura cloth. And see how it's getting that brown look and that real finished look? That's not paint. Some people will paint their belts. I don't paint my belt. It's all
the leather reacting to the wax and the pressure.
And so look at that. Feel that. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Yep. That's it.
There's a lot of steps.
A lot of steps. Yes. So it'll look so different when it's done.
Like, follow, subscribe, and share.